What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video, and we've got lots of wrestling news for you today. Is AEW getting a little desperate for Punk? Vince is throwing some shade at AEW. Jim Ross revealed the real reason why he didn't attend the Raw Reunion show. And our last news story of today, has Alicia Fox secretly retired from in-ring competition? Let's get into our first story. Is AEW getting a little desperate for Punk? Recently, AEW officially announced that it will be debuting its weekly television show on TNT, starting on 2nd October. Just like Double or Nothing, they surely want to try and hook in viewers from the start, as they have an impressive deal, good management backstage, including those who work backstage as producers and road agents in WWE, and of course not forgetting the most important element of all, some of the biggest talent in the world signed to the roster. But AEW may feel there is still one component missing that would certainly cause a stir amongst the wrestling world, and that's by getting CM Punk to make his long-awaited wrestling return. Now, we've heard this countless times before with rumours of WWE reaching out to Punk and or leaving the door wide open for a return. However, despite leaving the door wide open, mainly because they know his return would be a huge draw, everybody knows Punk and WWE didn't really maintain a good relationship after the straight-edge superstar walked out after the 2014 Royal Rumble, tired of the treatment he was given both medically and professionally backstage. Punk really does seem done with wrestling and simply wants people to move on, not getting their hopes up for a return. That still hasn't stopped AEW's vice presidents Matt Jackson and Cody from constantly asking whether Punk wants to return to the squared circle, even going so far as to offering contracts via text message. It's obviously not an official contract, but the offer is in the text. Speaking with ESPN, Punk shed light on his offers from the new promotion, saying, "The last thing I got a text from Cody, and again, I almost don't even know how to reply to them sometimes. Because if I reply, they do interviews and are like, oh yeah, I just talked to Punk. I'm kind of damned if I do, damned if I don't. I always think if somebody wants to do business with me, they can come talk to me. Texting offers isn't really a way to do good business, at least. It was texted through 3 people, and an offer came in through text. This is like a month ago maybe. I think it was just a general offer. I never could have done the last one in Vegas, Double or Nothing, because I was in California for CFFC. It's even come to the point where Punk can't even wish his friends good luck without being offered some sort of deal, persuasion to join, or even implying that Punk has been talking to AEW's president and chief executive officer Tony Khan, which is not true, as Punk further spoke on the matter saying, "No, I know they like to talk about me a lot. If I text Matt Jackson, hey, have a great show tonight, which I did when they had their big show in Vegas, that somehow turns into Tony Khan telling people he has a great relationship with me. I've said in the past, I've talked to them, but nothing ever came of anything." Ultimately, even though we can only insert Punk into dream feuds with AEW's talent on WWE 2K19, he set the record straight that, I think if there's an exception, it's purely been built by them. My silence to some fans means something. They're trying to read the tea leaves, but there's nothing to read. I even feel like talking about it may feel like I'm putting some sort of negative slant on it, but I'm really not. The fact is, I know they've teased me ad nauseum, and if anybody's gonna get mad, it's at me because I don't show up. Well then, I don't know what to tell you. That's one of those things that's none of my business. He continued, "They do videos where they talk about me. They're constantly talking about me in the media. And again, maybe this sounds like I'm badgering them, but I'm not. It's just something that happens. I'm a popular guy to talk about, but I'm not doing interviews talking about them. If people ask me about it, I say no, I won't be there." I think it's just safe to assume that Punk won't be there, and any rumours of him showing up at All Out are just purely speculation. Where Punk will be though is at StarCast 3, but the most strenuous thing he'll be doing there is signing autographs. We for one hope one day Punk will return to the squared circle, as it would no doubt be the biggest thing to happen in wrestling in the last decade. But moving on, Vince is throwing some shade at AEW, and it seems that WWE won't be going back to the Attitude Era. It seems that in order to bring teen viewers back to WWE, they've recently shown some edgier content on television. Things like more hardcore elements such as destroying the Titantron on Raw, Kofi flipping the bird at Samoa Joe, and some casual swearing on live television have all been done to have one goal in mind: having a PG-13 rated product. However, those people who think WWE is on a mission to bring back the adult content that was seen during the Attitude Era might sadly be disappointed, as The Wrap reported during the Q2 2019 earnings call with investors. Vince had told of content becoming more edgier, but it's certainly not returning to its Attitude Era roots. He also managed to throw some shade at AEW in the process, leaving them to rely on such practices to make a good show. According to The Wrap, he mentioned, "We just haven't come anywhere close actually to going to another level. There will be something we do in terms of a direction of content, more controversy, better storylines, etc. But at the same time, we're not going back to the quote Attitude Era, and we're not going to do blood and guts and things of that nature, such as being done on perhaps a new competitor. We're not going back to that gory crap that we graduated from." Whilst the Corey vs Dustin bout at Double or Nothing had a good couple of pints of blood spilled across the canvas, and the Moxley vs Janela bout brought some serious hardcore elements in their match at Fyter Fest, Tony Khan confirmed this level of violence was only reserved for pay-per-views, and not for general television shows where they'll have to adhere to the network's condition of adult-rated content. Let us know what you think of Vince's comments down below. Moving on, Jim Ross revealed the real reason why he didn't attend the Raw Reunion show. As yesterday, we reported that Bret Hart, one of the biggest talents missing from Raw's reunion show, simply declined an appearance because he didn't want to travel and miss a single day of Calgary's summer. But another legend and WWE Hall of Famer that was also noticeably absent was Jim Ross, a man who appeared on hundreds of episodes of the Red Brand. Now, WWE did reach out to Ross, but he declined. Now, this wasn't due to his contractual obligations to AEW, but merely what Ross thought was the best move not to fire up the rumor mill of him already being unhappy at his new workplace. On his podcast Grillin' with JR, he mentioned why he didn't attend, saying, "Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with my relationship with AEW. I have a great relationship with Tony Khan, who owns the damn thing. Tony said if you want to go to the Raw Reunion, I think you should go to the Raw Reunion if you want to. But I got to thinking about it, and I didn't want to approach the issue of, well, there's trouble in paradise, JR's looking to bail. I've taken on this role with these kids in AEW that I really embrace, and I love it. I'm an old coach at heart. There's a lot of kids there who are trying to learn how do we get from being somewhat of a hidden or not mass appeal indie star to going to the next level and becoming a star on a live weekly international TV show in October on TNT. I'm wondering what message I would have sent to these younger guys. JR's our guy. He's been preaching unity, he's been preaching teamwork, and he goes back to the evil empire for a one-night stand for a payday. Fair enough, good on you, JR. Next up, a rumoured SummerSlam dream match not happening? We're almost 2 weeks away from the biggest wrestling party of the summer, and admittedly, WWE has been doing a decent job of building up matches on both Raw and SmackDown. However, it looked as if WWE was trying to start a program between either The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, or teasing a dream match between the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and Ziggler. This is when Michaels appeared as a guest on Miz TV and ended up eating a super kick. Well, according to The Observer, it seems that there are currently no plans of Ziggler facing either man at SummerSlam, leading us to wonder what was the point of the entire segment if it wasn't going to lead up to anything. Are you disappointed? We knew we probably weren't going to get a match between the Showstopper and Ziggler, but a Miz vs Ziggler program would have been decent. And our last news story of today, has Alicia Fox secretly retired from in-ring competition? Fox has not been seen wrestling on television ever since April this year. She appeared at the Raw Reunion show of all places, but again did not wrestle, leading to some like Dave Meltzer believing she may have retired from in-ring competition. He mentioned, "Evidently, Alicia Fox is no longer an active wrestler. She was in every segment. I mean, she hasn't wrestled in months, but they never formally released her. So maybe the idea is, like, because they never release anyone, so I guess the idea, maybe, is that she's not going to wrestle anymore, but she's still under contract. She was very clearly not a member of the active roster. She was out there at the end of the show on the ramp with only the legends. She was a legend here on this show." Now, WWE has not confirmed anything yet though, and neither has Alicia Fox, so take this rumour with a heap of salt. But those were the news stories for today. What would your reaction be if Punk actually turned up at All Out? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.